One of the secrets of a happy life is continuous small treats, and if some of these can be inexpensive and quickly procured, so much the better. Remember that the secret of all learning is patience, and that curiosity is not the same thing as a thirst for knowledge. Starting a novel is opening a door on a misty landscape. You can still see very little, but you can smell the earth and feel the wind blowing. All art is a struggle to be, in a particular sort of way, virtuous. Happiness is a matter of one's most ordinary and everyday mode of consciousness, being busy and lively and unconcerned with self. Every book is the wreck of a perfect idea. Man's creative struggle, his search for wisdom and truth, is a love story. The most essential and fundamental aspect of culture is the study of literature, since this is an education in how to picture and understand human situations. We defend ourselves with descriptions and tame the world by generalizing. People from a planet without flowers would think we must be mad with joy the whole time to have such things about us. The absolute yearning of one human body for another particular body and its indifference to substitutes is one of life's major mysteries. In philosophy, if you aren't moving at a snail's pace, you aren't moving at all. Possibly more people kill themselves and others out of hurt vanity than out of envy, jealousy, malice, or desire for revenge. Waiting in fear is surely one of the most awful of human tribulations. Falling out of love is very enlightening. For a short while you see the world with new eyes. One should go easy on smashing other people's lies. Better to concentrate on one's own. Only love has clear vision. Hatred has cloudy vision. When we hate, we know not what we do. Love is the last and secret name of all the virtues. The chief requirement of the good life is to live without any image of oneself. We need a moral philosophy in which the concept of love, so rarely mentioned now by philosophers, can once again be made central. Reading and writing and the preservation of language and its forms and the kind of eloquence and the kind of beauty which the language is capable of is terribly important to the human beings, because this is connected to thought. A long marriage is very unifying, even if it's not ideal, and those old structures must be respected. Art is not cozy and it is not mocked. Art tells the only truth that ultimately matters. It is the light by which human things can be mended. And after art there is, let me assure you all, nothing. Nothing is more beautifully and acceptably self-assertive than good singing. Only lies and evil come from letting people off. Mathematics is good for the soul. Getting things right enlivens a sense of truth. Efforts to understand automatically purify desires. All art deals with the absurd and aims at the simple. Good art speaks truth. Indeed is truth, perhaps the only truth. There is nothing like the bootless solitude of those who are caged together. True love gallops, it flies. It is the swiftest of all modes of thought, swifter even than hate and fear. We shall meet, but as strangers. It is the end of an era. A whole part of my life is torn away. We must live by the light of our own self-satisfaction, through that secret, vital, busy inwardness which is even more remarkable than our reason. Food is a profound subject, and one, incidentally, about which no writer lies. Those who hope, by retiring from the world, to earn a holiday from human frailty in themselves and others, are usually disappointed. Your coldness has ruined my life. All right, you didn't mean it. All right, I was a schoolgirl, but you could have been kinder to someone who said they loved you. You could have been gentle and grateful. Good writing is full of surprises and novelties, moving in a direction you don't expect. We are such inward secret creatures that inwardness is the most amazing thing about us, even more amazing than our reason. Literature could be said to be a sort of disciplined technique for arousing certain emotions. The bereaved cannot communicate with the unbereaved. Our destiny can be examined, but it cannot be justified or totally explained. We are simply here. There is a gulf fixed between those who can sleep and those who cannot. It is one of the greatest divisions of the human race. But death is not easy, and life can win by simulating it. The sin of pride may be a small or a great thing in someone's life and hurt vanity, a passing pinprick, or a self-destroying or ever murderous obsession. In almost every marriage there is a selfish and an unselfish partner. A pattern is set up and soon becomes inflexible of one person always making the demands and one person always giving way. One of the secrets of a happy life is continence. Small treats, perhaps misguided moral passion is better than confused indifference. Words are the most subtle symbols which we possess and are human. Fabric depends on them. I think being a woman is like being Irish. Everyone says you're important and nice, but you take second place all the same. There is no substitute for the comfort supplied by the utterly taken for granted relationship. The bicycle is the most civilized conveyance known to man. Other forms of transport grow daily more nightmarish. Only the bicycle remains pure in heart. What a test that is! More than devotion, admiration, passion. If you long for someone's company, you love them. How different each death is, and yet it leads us into the self-same country, that country which we inhabit so rarely, where we see the worthlessness of what we have long pursued, and will so soon return to pursuing. All our failures are ultimately failures. In love, you can't go through the looking glass without cutting yourself. Falling out of love is chiefly a matter of forgetting how charming someone is. All chances of happiness are gone from me. Just being with myself is hell all the time anyway. We are all prisoner, but the name of our cure is not freedom. Daytime sleep is a cursed slumber from which one wakes in despair. Most of our love is shabby stuff, but there is always a thin line of gold, the bit of pure love on which all the rest depends, and which redeems all the rest. It's easier to sell junk when you're known than works of genius when you're unknown. Our actions are like ships, which we may watch set out to sea, and not know when or with what cargo they will return to port. Jean Iris Murdoch, 15 July 1919 February 8, 1999, was born in Phibsborough, Dublin, Ireland, the daughter of Irene Ellis Richardson, 1899–1985, and Wills John Hughes Murdoch. Her father, a civil servant, came from a mainly Presbyterian sheep farming family from Hillhall, County Down. In 1915, he enlisted as a soldier in King Edward's Horse and served in France during the First World War. Before being commissioned as a second lieutenant, her mother had trained as a singer before Iris was born, and was from a middle-class Church of Ireland family in Dublin. Iris Murdoch's parents first met in Dublin when her father was on leave and were married in 1918. Iris was the couple's only child. When she was a few weeks old, the family moved to London, where her father had joined the Ministry of Health as a second-class clerk. She was a second cousin of the Irish mathematician Brian Murdoch. Murdoch was brought up in Chiswick and educated in progressive, independent schools, entering the Froebel Demonstration School in 1925 and attending Badminton School in Bristol as a boarder from 1932 to 1938. In 1938, she went up to Somerville College, Oxford, with the intention of studying English, but switched to grades, a course of study combining classics, ancient history, and philosophy. At Oxford, she studied philosophy with Donald M. Mackinnon and attended Edward Frankel's seminars on Agamemnon. She was awarded a first-class honors degree in 1942. From 1947 to 1948, Iris Murdoch studied philosophy as a postgraduate at Newnham College, Cambridge. She met Ludwig Wittgenstein at Cambridge but did not hear him lecture, as he had left his Trinity College professorship before she arrived. In 1948, she became a Fellow of St Anne's College, Oxford, where she taught philosophy until 1963. From 1963 to 1967, she taught 1 day a week in the General Studies department at the Royal College of Art. Iris Murdoch was an Irish and British novelist and philosopher. Murdoch is best known for her novels about good and evil, sexual relationships, morality, and the Power of the Unconscious, her first published novel, Under the Net 1954, was selected in 1998 as one of Modern Library's 100 Best English Language Novels of the 20th Century. Her 1978 novel The Sea won the Booker Prize. In 1987, she was made a Dame by Queen Elizabeth II for services to literature. In 2008, The Times ranked Murdoch 12th on a list of the 50 greatest British writers since 1945. Her other books include The Bell 1958, A Severed Head 1961, An Unofficial Rose 1962, The Red and the Green 1965, The Nice and the Good 1968, The Black Prince 1973, Henry and Cato 1976, The Philosopher's Pupil 1983, The Good Apprentice 1985, The Book and the Brotherhood 1987, The Message to the Planet 1989, and The Green Knight 1993. As a philosopher, Murdoch's best known work is The Sovereignty of Good 1970. She was married for 43 years until her death to the literary critic and author John Bailey.